You can feel it before it happens. The energy shifts, her replies get shorter, her eyes wander more often, her touch feels colder. You start asking yourself, what changed? You replay conversations in your head, wondering where the connection slipped away. She's pulling back, quietly, without confrontation. And that silence hurts more than any argument ever could. At first, you think it's temporary. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's stressed. But deep down, you know something's different. You sense the emotional distance growing, like a shadow between you. And your instincts tell you to act, to fix it, to text more, to prove your worth. But that's exactly where most men destroy their chances. Because when you chase her in fear, you confirm her decision to pull away. You tell her, without words, that she's the prize, and you're the one losing. What you need to understand is this: when she starts to pull away, it's not always about losing attraction. It's about testing energy. She's observing how you handle emotional distance. Will you collapse under pressure, or will you remain calm, grounded, unbothered? Because what truly draws a woman back isn't your words, it's your silence, your control, your ability to stay centered when her behavior shifts. This is the point where most men panic, and that panic destroys respect. They send long messages, ask what's wrong, offer explanations, try to fix the situation. But women don't fall back in love with effort. They fall back in love with mystery, with distance, with calm power that says, I'm not afraid to lose you because I already found myself. In this video, you're going to learn exactly what to do when she starts pulling away. Not to manipulate her, but to shift the dynamic. You'll learn how to trigger the natural regret that appears when a woman realizes she lost a man who truly knew his worth. Because when she feels your absence, your calm, and your silence, that's when her mind starts to replay what she once had. And if you do this right, she'll regret ever thinking she could replace it. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my effective online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course takes things to an entirely new level, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. And you won't find this information in any video on my channel. It's available in both English and Spanish language, so you can learn in the language you feel most comfortable with. It's easy to access with a secure payment option. Visit thestoiccouple.podia.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life. Let's dive in. Section number 1. Why she starts pulling away. Before you can make her regret losing you, you must understand why she's pulling away in the first place. Because her silence isn't random. It's emotional communication. Women rarely distance themselves for no reason. There's always a signal behind the shift. And when you learn to read it, you stop reacting and start leading. Sometimes she pulls away because she feels you slipping into neediness, the subtle kind, the kind that hides behind too many compliments, constant check-ins, or the need for reassurance. She feels when your energy stops being self-contained and starts orbiting around her approval. That's when attraction starts to fade. Not because she doesn't care, but because she starts to sense emotional imbalance. Other times, it's not even about you. It's about her. Maybe she's uncertain, confused, or battling something internally. Maybe she's testing whether you're truly as strong as you appeared in the beginning. Because here's the truth. Every woman tests the foundation of a man's composure, especially when things get quiet. When she starts to pull away, her subconscious is asking one question. Is he stable enough to handle distance? And if your reaction is panic, if you chase, over-explain, or demand clarity, she has her answer. You've shown her that your sense of calm depends on her validation, and once she sees that, respect begins to erode. But when you don't react, when you remain composed, detached, focused on your own direction, her test backfires, because what she expected was weakness, and what she gets is mystery. You shift from being predictable to being fascinating. She starts wondering what you're thinking, who you're becoming, and whether she made a mistake by stepping back. Remember this truth. Women are not drawn to control. They're drawn to confidence. The difference is subtle but life-changing. Control is reactive. It needs results. Confidence is internal. It doesn't chase them. When you stop trying to pull her closer and instead let her feel the space she created, you shift the emotional balance. Suddenly, she's the one wondering what went wrong, what changed, and why your energy no longer revolves around her. So if she's pulling away right now, don't rush to fix it. Let the silence stretch, because the space she created out of doubt will soon become the space where she starts missing you. Section number 2. The power of doing nothing. When a woman starts pulling away, every part of you will want to do something. You'll want to text her, call her, remind her of how good things were. You'll want to fight for the connection, because that's what your emotions tell you love is supposed to look like. But here's the truth. When you try to fix emotional distance with physical effort, you only push her further away, because every move you make tells her one thing, that she has the power to control your peace. The power of doing nothing is not about ignoring her out of pride. It's about understanding your value so deeply that you no longer beg for attention. Silence isn't weakness. It's confidence in disguise. It says, I don't need to chase what's already mine in energy. It says, I can walk away and still be complete. You see, emotional attraction doesn't fade because of time. It fades because of pressure. The more you chase, the more pressure she feels. The more pressure she feels, the more she resists. But when you remove that pressure entirely, when you stop trying to fix, explain, or control, something powerful happens. Her curiosity wakes up. She starts to wonder why you're so calm, why you stopped trying, why your energy suddenly feels detached but peaceful. That wondering becomes the seed of doubt in her mind. Did I lose him? Did he move on? Does he even care anymore? And those questions do what your words never could. They re-engage her emotions. Most men think silence means losing. But real silence from strength, creates emotional imbalance. It flips the power dynamic without manipulation. Because when she feels your absence and you remain still, she's forced to face herself. The more peace you project, the louder her own confusion becomes. Doing nothing doesn't mean waiting around or sitting in pain. It means redirecting your focus. You start working on your body, your discipline, your mission, your energy. You stop chasing connection and start building momentum. That's when your silence gains meaning. Because it's not empty anymore. It's full of growth. And when she feels that energy shift, when she sees that your silence isn't sadness but strength, her emotions will begin to turn. Not because you asked her to come back, but because your absence started saying everything your words couldn't. So the next time she pulls away, remember, doing nothing isn't losing her. It's giving her the space to realize what she's losing. Section number 3. When your silence starts to work. At first, your silence will confuse her. She'll expect a reaction, a text, a question, a sign of weakness. But when nothing comes, her ego tries to take control. She'll tell herself, he's mad. He'll text soon. He always does. Days pass. You stay calm. No anger, no chasing, no explanation. That's when something starts to shift. Because silence has a strange way of echoing louder the longer it lasts. When she no longer feels your attention, her mind begins to wander. She starts replaying moments she ignored, the way you looked at her, the things you said, how peaceful your presence used to feel. The memory she once pushed away now becomes comfort she secretly craves. And every time she tries to distract herself, that absence reminds her of what she's missing. Psychologically, your silence triggers a process called emotional displacement. Her brain tries to fill the gap you left with new stimuli, but it can't. Because your energy wasn't just physical, it was emotional consistency. You gave her calmness, structure, stability. That's not easily replaced. At first, she'll test you again. She might post something meant to get your attention, or send a small message. Something innocent, like, hey, how have you been? She's not asking out of kindness. She's checking your temperature. She wants to see if your silence was strength or strategy. If you reply too eagerly, the spell breaks. She confirms you were just waiting, pretending. But if you stay grounded, short, polite, composed, her curiosity deepens. She starts to feel what you once felt when she pulled away, the imbalance, the uncertainty. This is where your silence becomes magnetic. Because now she's no longer in control of the emotional rhythm. You are. She's chasing reassurance without realizing it, and you're simply existing, calm and centered, without needing to prove a thing. The silence that once felt like loss now becomes a mirror for her, showing her what she took for granted. Every time she doesn't hear from you, her mind replays the moments you were available, the times you reached out, the things you said that she brushed off, and that memory, that quiet, slow-burning realization, is what creates regret. Silence isn't about punishment. It's about allowing reality to speak louder than emotion. When you stop trying to prove your worth, she starts remembering it. When you stop chasing closure, she starts craving connection. And that's when she realizes the truth. You didn't disappear out of anger. You disappeared because you finally understood your value. Section number 4. How to maintain control when she reaches out. Eventually, your silence will pull her back in. Maybe it's a message, a reaction to a story, or a sudden, "Hey, I was just thinking about you." It might seem harmless, but make no mistake, this is a test. She's not just reaching out because she misses you. She's trying to see if she still has access to you. If you fold too quickly, she'll know that your silence wasn't strength. It was waiting. And the attraction she felt will vanish as fast as it returned. The way you respond here defines the rest of the story. This is where most men lose control. They take her message as victory and rush back into the same pattern that pushed her away in the first place. But a Stoic man understands something deeper. Attention is power, and power must be earned, not given. When she reaches out, your first reaction should not be excitement. It should be composure. Wait, think. Ask yourself, what's her intention? Is she genuinely reaching out to reconnect, or just trying to test if she still controls your emotions? You can't know right away, but your tone will tell her everything. Keep your responses short, calm, and positive, but never desperate. You don't ignore her completely, because silence alone isn't strength. It's emotional balance that creates gravity. Speak with lightness. End the conversation first. Leave her wondering if she really regained your attention or if you've already moved beyond needing hers. You see, your silence gave her curiosity, but your calm presence gives her respect. The moment you stop seeking validation, you become validation itself. You become the emotional center again, the one who no longer reacts to her moods, because your peace is no longer negotiable. This shift changes everything, because now, instead of you chasing answers, she's chasing emotional stability. She starts trying to read you again, like she did in the beginning. Every message, every emoji, every word becomes a signal she tries to decode. That's when she begins to invest again, emotionally, mentally, energetically. The key here is consistency. Don't change your rhythm. Stay calm, stay mysterious, stay grounded in purpose. If she's serious about reconnecting, she'll match your energy. If she's just testing, she'll fade again, and that's fine. You don't lose anything by staying centered. You only lose when you break frame. So when she finally reaches out after your silence, remember, don't prove, don't perform, don't chase. Let her feel the difference between the man who needed her attention and the one who learned to live without it. Because that difference, that stillness, is what makes her realize what she truly lost. Section number 5. When regret starts to sink in. Regret doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in quietly, like a shadow that follows her everywhere. At first, she'll try to ignore it. She'll convince herself she's fine. She'll tell her friends she's moved on, that she needed space, that you are too distant or too serious. But every time she tries to justify it, her heart feels heavier. Because deep down, she knows the truth. She didn't walk away from you. She walked away from stability. Regret starts with confusion. It begins the moment she realizes that your silence isn't a reaction. It's a choice. She thought you'd come chasing, that you'd beg for answers, that you'd crumble under the distance. But when you didn't, when you stayed calm and kept moving forward, her entire perception of you changed. The man she thought she understood, the one she could predict, suddenly became a mystery again. And that mystery? It's powerful. It reawakens the same emotional curiosity she felt when she first met you. She starts to remember how your presence made her feel safe, how your calm made her feel grounded, how your voice gave her peace. The same traits she once took for granted now become rare, and rarity always creates value. You see, a woman only begins to regret losing a man when she realizes he's no longer emotionally accessible. Not angry, not bitter, just gone. That's when the mind starts to replay everything, the late night talks, the laughter, the quiet moments. She'll try to fill that space with distractions, but nothing works for long, because emotional bonds aren't easily replaced. They echo. Then comes the hardest part for her, seeing you evolve. She sees you more confident, more focused, more at peace. You're no longer the man waiting for her message. You've become the man who inspires curiosity and admiration again. That transformation doesn't just make her regret leaving, it makes her question herself. Did I misjudge him? Did I lose someone rare? That's when her regret turns into reflection, and reflection turns into desire. Because now it's not about wanting you back, it's about needing to understand how you stopped needing her. But here's the beautiful irony. By the time she feels that regret fully, you're no longer the same man she left. You've outgrown the version of yourself that once chased her. And that's the moment she realizes she didn't lose the old you. She lost the man you became after she left. Section number 6, how to handle her regret the Stoic way. When her regret finally appears, it won't come wrapped in confession. She won't say, I miss you. Instead, it'll come in subtle ways. Questions about your life, nostalgic messages, little attempts to reconnect. She might like an old photo, reply to a story, or casually bring up a memory as if it doesn't mean anything. But behind that calm surface, she's testing something. Has he really moved on? Or is he still emotionally available to me? This is where your discipline matters more than ever. Because if you handle this moment with emotion instead of control, everything you built through your silence will collapse. The Stoic man doesn't respond to regret with revenge or validation. He responds with composure, the kind that says, I've healed, but I haven't forgotten what I learned. See, most men mistake her regret for reconciliation. They think it's the moment to finally talk, to finally fix what broke. But that's the trap, because her regret doesn't always mean she wants you back. Sometimes she just wants to know she still can have you back. And if you give her that certainty too soon, her curiosity dies. And so does the attraction. The Stoic response is quiet strength. You neither chase nor reject. You simply allow her to feel your peace. Speak with kindness, but keep distance. Let your words show maturity, not attachment. When she says, I miss the way things were, you don't dive into the past. You acknowledge it with calm gratitude. Yeah, those were good times. Short, simple, powerful, no emotion, no need, no performance. What she feels in that moment is the difference between her regret and your growth. She sees that you've learned to master what most men never do, emotional control. That control is magnetic. It pulls her closer without you doing a thing, because now she's no longer in control of the emotional rhythm. You are. Handling her regret the Stoic way means understanding one thing clearly. You are not here to prove you've changed. You're here to live it. You don't show your worth through words. You embody it through calm, silence, and purpose. When you remain grounded while she's spinning in emotion, her respect returns first. Respect brings curiosity. Curiosity reignites attraction. So when she comes back, remember, you don't need to remind her of what she lost. Your peace already does that for you. Section number 7. When she tries to come back. When she finally tries to come back, it won't look like the fairy tale ending you imagined. It won't be dramatic music, teary apologies, or some grand confession. It will be subtle, quiet, almost uncertain. She'll reach out casually, maybe late at night, maybe when something reminds her of you. She'll say, hey, I was just thinking about you. But beneath that calm tone, there's a storm of emotion she's trying to hide. You see, when a woman comes back after distance, she's not chasing you. She's chasing the feeling she lost when you left. Your presence gave her a sense of calm, safety, and emotional gravity that no one else could replace. She might not admit it out loud, but her heart knows the truth. She misses your energy, not just your attention. Now, this is where your strength gets tested again. Most men make the mistake of rushing to take her back, desperate to restore what was lost. But the Stoic man understands something deeper. If she comes back to the same version of you she left, she'll leave again. You've grown since she walked away. You've learned how to stand on your own, how to master your emotions, how to walk in silence without resentment. When she returns, you don't drop your boundaries. You keep them. You welcome her presence, but not at the expense of your peace. You let her prove through actions what her words can't guarantee. When you speak to her again, do it with stillness, no blame, no bitterness, just clarity. Tell her who you are now through the way you move, not through what you say. When she sees that her absence didn't break you, it changes everything, because regret might bring her back, but respect is what makes her stay. Understand this. Her return isn't a gift, it's a reflection of your growth. The man she left was emotional. The man she sees now is centered. The man who once reacted now observes. The one who once begged now chooses. And that difference, that quiet confidence, is what reawakens the attraction at a deeper level. So when she finally stands in front of you again, curious, vulnerable, maybe even afraid, don't rush to take her back. Let her feel the weight of your evolution. Let her see that her leaving didn't destroy you. It revealed you. And if you decide to let her in again, make sure it's not because you need her, but because she's earned her place in the new chapter of your life. In short, regret doesn't happen when she loses you. It happens when she finally understands what she lost. And that understanding only comes when your silence, your strength, and your evolution collide into something undeniable. Peace. The moment she truly regrets losing you isn't when she sees you with someone else. It's when she realizes she no longer has access to your energy. When your presence, once freely given, becomes rare. When she understands that the version of you she took for granted no longer exists. She'll scroll through your photos, trying to feel the same warmth she once did. But now, the connection is gone. Not because you're angry, but because you've outgrown the need for her validation. That's when the regret cuts deep. Not because she lost the relationship, but because she lost her place in your story. She'll remember the things you used to do without her asking. How you listened, how you stayed calm, how you made her feel safe, even when she didn't deserve it. She'll compare every new connection to that same energy and realize it's not the same. The laughter feels forced. The comfort feels temporary. The excitement fades fast. Because what she misses isn't your attention, it's your presence. And presence like yours doesn't come twice. It comes from a man who walked through rejection, faced silence, and came out stronger. A man who no longer chases love to feel complete, but attracts it by being whole. That's when she finally understands the truth. You were never trying to win her back. You were becoming the man she was supposed to recognize the first time. And that realization hurts. Because now she wants what she can no longer reach. This is the moment where your power peaks. Not in revenge, not in pride, but in peace. Because the real victory is not making her regret you. It's becoming so grounded, so focused, so evolved that her regret no longer defines you. You've outgrown the old story, and now you write new ones. Ones built on clarity, boundaries, and strength. So if she's pulling away now, don't chase, don't explain, don't beg. Use that silence as fuel. Let it shape you, harden you, awaken you. Because one day, she'll look back and realize the moment she walked away was the moment you started becoming the man she'll never forget. And that's the most beautiful kind of regret there is. If you're ready to take your dating life to the next level, my full online course is waiting for you. It's packed with powerful strategies you won't find on YouTube, and it's available in English and Spanish. Click the link in the description and start mastering the game today. See you in the next video.